When it comes to this type of connection, my top boss, it is important to mark the strappers so that you don't confuse. And also the next technician coming in will not have an issue. Majority of the times, technicians have a challenge in this type of connection where the strappers bring an issue to them. Let's solve it. For this switch, we need identical strappers to connect with the other switch. And that is why we have one set marked with white and then the other set marked with blue. This one will go to one switch or one gang, the other one will go to the other gang. And the same thing is done at this point right here. So my top boss for this type of switch, the moment we have marked that, then we are safe, because those are the only two that can actually give us a challenge. Because for the switch that we will be connecting, for that case, which is a two-way switch, we definitely have it straightforward. This is what we have. So we have the L1, the L2 where we'll connect the strappers, and the remaining wire will be connected to the common. This is different from this switch that we have here, where we have the common and we only have the connection for that only. This other part is not connected any wire. So the power is off.
Yeah.
So that means you are safe to proceed, isn't it, Margaret?
My top boss, we have completed the wiring of this two-way, two-gang light switch system. The next video will, of course, be about three-gang, two-way switch system. Now, my top boss, Margaret, has done the most. Look at that, and then look at that. So the customer can switch these bulbs at this point, and then exit at this point and switch them off as he or she goes away. The next morning she will come, doesn't need to go back here, but simply switch from this point. She can decide to switch this one only, or she can decide to switch all of them. She can even decide to turn them off, and then during daytime she will definitely exit, and probably she's coming from the bedroom when it is dark and decides to switch on at this point, my top boss. The same thing can happen.
For us to understand this switching system, it is important for us to understand how to install a one-gang two-way switch system, or as the USA refer to it as a three-way switch system.
So this is our source of power. So we'll have our bulb here, or basically our lighting point here, and we will also have two switches here. Each of these switches have L common, which is on top here, and L1 and L2. L common of one switch will go to the bulb, and L common of one switch will go now to the incoming live connection or the phase connection. The L1 will be connected to the L1 of the second switch, and the L2 will be connected directly to the L2 of the second switch. So that is how they will be linked. So let us first of all do the wiring. So we'll start by the two wires which will interconnect the first switch and the second switch. So we will run the two wires simultaneously. So this is for the L1 and for the L2 that will connect this switch and this switch. The way we mark them, we just bite 2 times to indicate that they are for the two-way. Now, because this is a demo, a surface wiring should be done on pipes, or if it is somewhere that is visible and you want it to look good, it should be done in trunking. For the purposes of demonstration, I've done it just like that, but it should be trunked or in conduit. So also on this other end, we just have to double mark like that. So this is for linking the two switches, One wire will go to L1 here, another one will go to L2, and also here another one will go to L1 and L2. So that is how they'll be interconnected. So we'll have our bulb holder here. The neutral will be fed directly to the bulb holder. Again, a wire coming from this live to this connection here. So when it gets here, just strip. So now I connect it like that. Make sure that it is firm. Electrical connections must be very firm. So now marking this one, which is our source of power, or basically which is the live, you mark it once and you just strip it like that. Now we introduce the other half, which is basically feeding this bulb holder from this switch. Now we will use a red wire or a face wire. If you are from a different country which uses different color code, they definitely will have to use a different one. So now from this switch it will come all the way to our bulb holder like that. So here at this end we will not indicate it, it will just drop so that someone will just easily know that this one is not a face wire, but it is instead coming from the bulb holder. So for this one, which is the common, will be connected here. This is coming from the live, or the incoming face will be connected on that, like that. And then these two, which are also going to the other switch, will now be connected, one to the L1 there, and the other to the L2 there. So this is the common one that is coming from the bulb or the lighting point, and then these two are L1 from our first switch and L2 also from our first switch. So again we will connect them to the L1 and L2. So that means the two wires coming are directly linked to these switches. So that is how these two switches will be connected or interconnected through L1 and also L2. So first of all, this common, we connect our bulb wire here, or the wire from the bulb, which should also be in a color which is face, or probably a face color. And then the other wire, we connect it to L1. This wire is coming from the first switch. Remember, for this system to work, these switches must be two-way switches. If they are one-way, they will not work. So that is how it's connected. The switches are interconnected because L1 is connecting to L1 of this switch, L2 is connected to the L2 of this switch directly through these wires. The neutral from the source is connected directly to the lighting point, and then the live is or the face is connected from the source all the way to the common of this switch. And then the face that will be connected to the lighting point or the bulb holder is now connected to the common of the second switch. Now let us see whether this system will work as we have connected. So you can put it on from there, off from there, can put it on from there, off from there. Top boss for this type of switching
it is important for you to understand that it applies for every single gang that you have, 3 gang, 4 gang, or even more. Just treat a single gang as a two-way light switch system. Even if you have 3, 4, 5 gangs, treat each and every gang as a two-way light switch system and it will work for you. All the best in your wiring project, and remember, electricity is dangerous. Always follow the country or your region's rules.